on Sunday, November 10th. I have so many excuses for why I haven't been writing, but I want this to be the beginning of a writing vlog, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let me just explain, because I feel like I have a good excuse. Okay, so I have been sick for 9 or 10 days now, and being super pregnant, it is rough. I am so thankful I was not sick before this, because wow. And on top of that, we are packing and kind of like living out of suitcases and boxes because we have a big move coming up. Let me just show you this craziness. My son is in bed, so I don't want to turn on all the lights, but to be fair, a lot of the smaller boxes around here are my books, but we've been living in chaos, haven't we, Penny? Can you say that's right? It's been a little bit rough. It's been a lot. It's been overwhelming, especially being sick. And also, I was trying to plan a fun nesting party, which is now going to be like a moving party. And then I got really sick and I just kind of gave up on that. So it's half planned right now. Okay, let's see if I can talk without coughing, because it's just been, I'm a mess. But you know what? I was thinking about this and looking at a calendar, being that I'm on a bit of a deadline with this baby coming, and I remember last time I called it the deadline of my life or something like that, which was very dramatic. But it's sort of like this moving deadline that you have no control over. It's sort of like if you had a boss at work who's like, by the way, this really important project might be due tomorrow or in 2 weeks or in 2 months. We'll see. It's like, okay, cool. Oh my gosh, hold on. Okay, I have to stop and like sit in front of my humidifier and just breathe in the warm air while I talk to you guys, or I am not going to be able to get through this. I am halfway through, I think 34 weeks right now, and we are moving in 3 days. And I was looking at a calendar. Actually, I was kind of attempting to write out like my last weeks of being pregnant, like what will I do each week. So at first I was like, well, it's going to be packing week and then moving week and then unpacking week, and then it would put me at about 36 weeks pregnant when I come back to writing the second half of the Butter book. And I don't think I would finish. There's no way. Even now there might not be a way. I really don't know how this vlog is going to end, but it's just going to be like whatever happens. I don't know how to predict it. Like, well, I should at least give myself a chance. Right when I was like, oh, I need to get on this, so I'm just going to start writing before we move, and then I got so sick. I gotta stop myself, okay, because I just was about to go on a whole rant, and I like sympathy when I'm sick. I know some people, like my husband, are like, no, just don't talk to me and I'll power through. I am not that person. I want all the sympathy. So sometimes I get a little whiny when I'm sick, and I have to be careful of that. But I wrote myself some notes because I was like, there's another reason besides being sick that had been keeping me from writing. And I was really thinking it over before all this happened and realizing that this is going to sound weird, but sometimes sharing your vision, getting accountability, sometimes that can be extremely beneficial, for me at least, because it's accountability. It makes me excited. It is literally the only reason that I started writing the Butter book after a whole year of not writing it, is because I was like, I'm gonna make this a YouTube series. That gave me the motivation of, well, now I've told people I'm doing it, so I have to do it. And that got me through the first half of the book. So I firmly believe that it can be great. However, it has not been helpful for me the second half because I've been feeling like a failure, because I've been struggling more because of everything going on. I was trying to process, like, I think there's also some times where it's not good to share, and it's not good to share, that's the wrong way to put it, but not good to let too many voices in, I guess, because, like, for example, when we were outlining, that is a fantastic time to think of your readers and think of their opinion. And so is working with beta readers, because you have to be thinking of, is my reader going to like this? That's a really, really good quality for a writer to have. You know, you want to think of them. But then there is other times in the process where I think it's important to get more introspective and to think, what do I want to read? What makes me excited about this story? Because that is what's really going to make a story shine, is if it's like really true to you, true to your passions, true to your beliefs, your morals, your values, whatever. I think a first draft is one of those times where it's actually, not always, I'm never going to say there's any right way, but for me at least, it feels like that's the better time to think of what I like to read. And that's the time that usually I really play in a story and I just have fun with it and I try things. There's no pressure because I'm not showing it to anybody. But that hasn't been the case this time around. So anyway, long story short, I think it kind of hit me that it was a mix of I need to get more introspective and stop sharing multiple vlogs. Like, I'll still tell you guys how it's going briefly as it goes because it could take months. I don't know. I hope not, but it might. But I still want to share this process and what it's like because it's probably going to be crazy. But I think I really needed to come back to that original purpose that I personally give to my first drafts, which is writing them for me so that I can have fun. And I immediately started getting excited about the story again when I started thinking like that. And I have some fun notes for like what I want to do. Oh, let me just move away from this humidifier in case that sound was really annoying. I apologize. I realize it's kind of loud. That's where I'm at, and I want to come back to vlogging, but I want to, like I said, kind of write for me, which means maybe just doing really brief updates and hopefully writing more than like once a week because this would take forever to finish the second half of a book. I don't know if I can finish before baby gets here. And once she gets here, I don't know, then it'll be like months. So I don't know. It really all depends on when she wants to enter the world, you know what I'm saying? Because if she's late, I could have enough time. But if she's early, I could like write one more page and then be done. So we're just gonna take it a day at a time. We're in the new house. A lot has happened. A lot has changed. Where do I even start? Like, has writing actually happened? Is that a tornado siren? There's no tornado. It's just the first Wednesday of the month. But you might also be able to hear this crazy, like, wind tunnel effect going on, which is super fun. There's always some kind of noise. We have construction nearby, you name it. I'm just gonna keep going. This is my little work corner. Please ignore the pure chaos of trying to figure out laundry and where things go. But I've got my own little kind of safe haven spot where I've set up camp to work during my little guy's naps because he is right down the hall. Hi, Penny. Say hi. And so that way I can just like stay on this level because these stairs are like my Mount Everest right now. Okay. Seriously, I cannot handle that. So please ignore the pure chaos. But I, right before we moved, ordered this fun proof copy. Let me kind of explain. This is not the full first draft. This is only like the first 10 chapters or maybe 11. And clearly I accidentally got it wet. But let me tell you about how I did this and then why I printed this, because this is a really fun strategy that I have done in the past, although not for a partial book ever before. But this time around I was like, why not? Okay, what should I do first? The why or the how? Let's do the why. It's been so long since I read the story that I couldn't even remember some of my character names, so I wrote them in the back, and I just made little notes to myself if ever I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this, I could do that, and I tried to refresh myself on the story. Now, typically, I don't do this until I have a full first draft. This is clearly not a full book. Like I said, 10 or 11 chapters. And sometimes, like, let me show you some of my other proof copies, because I was just showing people on Instagram. I'm like, I have so many. But typically, a lot of these here are like final copies right before I'm like, okay, we're good to go. And I'm just doing like a proofread. And for something like this, where I'm like, okay, this is still very much first draft. The goal is definitely not to proofread and make it perfect. So the goal is more remembering the story, because typically after I write a full first draft, I will step away and take a break. I have often printed at Office Max to do this, but the reason I like to have a physical copy is really, really simple, because if you're on your computer, you're very tempted, or I am very tempted, to edit, and that's not good. And my goal with this is very much stay big picture, get the full scope of the story and remember the story and see if it's cohesive and what, like I write some notes, like I can't help it. You saw the notes that I wrote in there. I'm like, okay, fix this, fix that, or here's an idea, etc. But for the most part, I'm trying to not do a ton of editing. And why did I order it in this like proof copy format through Amazon's KDP instead of Office Max this time? Because it's actually cheaper, believe it or not. Blows my mind. This little book was probably, what was it, $3 or $4? It's been a while now. It's been a month since I ordered it, but it was about $3 or $4 because it is pretty skinny. And then another, I think 2-ish something for shipping. So it was literally just $5 or $6. And Office Max actually costs more. So how did I do it? If you want to try something like this, if you've ever seen my videos about uploading to KDP, it's so incredibly easy to get a book like this because you only need 2 things. You need the exterior, this cover, front, spine, and back. But as you can see, it does not actually have to be that fancy if you're just ordering it for yourself. And truth be told, you don't even have to design a cover. You can just use KDP's cover creator and they will design one for you. They're very ugly, I'm just gonna warn you. But I also have like a really old video about how to DIY a cover in Canva. It's a little bit embarrassing. It's really old, but if you're curious, I'll link that below. And then this cover is obviously a temporary cover, but if you've watched my past vlogs in this series, which I'll link the series below too if you're curious, you saw me design this in Photoshop just for fun, just to inspire myself, right? So that's all you need. I just popped this front cover into the cover creator on KDP, had a simple nothing on the spine, nothing on the back, good to go. Then I actually write in a pre-formatted template. It's not perfect by any means. I'm not going to show you the story itself. It really doesn't matter as long as it prints in a readable way, but sometimes I will print with the font a little bit on the smaller side to make the book itself cheaper to print. And I probably should have fixed like the spacing. There's a little bit weird, wider than I would have liked if I'd had time, but I literally just took my document as is because I write in a pre-formatted template and popped it in there as a PDF. So if you want to know more about that and my formatting and all that good stuff, I also have this full video. It walks you through everything. And you could order the book without any of this formatting because you don't have to have a cover page or a copyright page or whatever for yourself. I just happen to have it in a pre-formatted document already. The reason that I share all of this is I was just like, I want to read this book, but we've been in this house, gosh, how long? Oh, over 2 weeks now. And I've had so many other things that I've had to get done. So just to share an example, obviously moving and like packing this up, bringing it over, unpacking it, resetting things up, getting things organized, figuring out where stuff is. Still don't know where some things are, but I am starting to somewhat feel settled. Right after we moved into the house, like literally just a couple days later, we did something that I had just heard of. It's sort of a new version of a baby shower going around for like a second or third or whatever, where you invite everybody to help you nest, and it's called a nesting party. And it ended up being the coolest thing. I was very nervous that people would think it was weird, but I just knew how much help we needed with the house, with getting ready for baby, all the things that needed doing, and I just have zero energy. At this point, I am 37 weeks pregnant. Like, holy cow. And I know that I was this big before, but I don't remember waddling like a penguin like this before. I'm sure I did, but anyway, my energy is somewhere back in October or September. I'm just so tired. I can't even express how helpful this nesting party was because things that would have taken me weeks to get through took one morning for all these wonderful friends and family who came to help. And I took some fun pictures to show everything that got done. It was just the best. And I'm just like, thank goodness, because otherwise I'd be struggling. But between like getting the house set up, getting ready for baby girl, my exhaustion, and our brand new laundry machine broke, we got behind on laundry, I couldn't wash the new baby clothes, like little things just kept adding up. Had to change the address. For my business, you know how many places you have to change your address if you're publishing on like different platforms and you're on Patreon and YouTube, etc. It was just wild. And then personally change it as well, like DMV and bank and all that. All that to say, I'm actually shocked that I have gotten a chance to read through this. I finished it at the DMV the other day. Was it yesterday? yeah. And so now it's time. I actually have a little bit of time. I could be working on other things though, but I really wanted to at least do some brainstorming now that this story is fresh in my mind and be like, here's what could come next. I want to think through and just kind of outline a lot deeper. I really, as you know, wanted to write the full first draft, like truly write it. But I think if I was to do a really detailed outline, that would be just as beneficial and give me something to go on later on as well. And maybe be less pressure, you know? Actually, with my last 2 books that I've written, I did do this, funny enough. I was a little bit further in. This is not quite halfway, but in the other books, The Secret Gift, I remember I got about halfway through the first draft and then I had other things come up. So I just wrote a really detailed outline. And same thing with another book that I wrote that is not published called Invisible Souls, where I had this plan to write it. It took longer than I thought. So the second half of the book I outlined as well. And when I say outlined, I mean could be what a normal plotter does right away. But for me, my outlines are usually a lot more simple. Like maybe they go here, maybe they do that, decide this later. That kind of thing. So when I say I make a more detailed version, it's at least maybe 30 pages. I don't know. I don't really know if you're going to be able to see this, but I still have a very long to-do list to get ready for baby. And it's just all over the place. Like put up a curtain in the baby's room, or Amazon returns, or groceries, or laundry. And then other things are like for the baby. Like I want to print my birth plan, hospital packing list, work on packing my hospital bag, which should be done by now at 37.5 weeks, but it is what it is. Address changes, I still need to go to the bank to do that. And other stuff is work related. Like today, I'm actually setting up a sale that might be over by the time this video goes out, but I get to do a fun freebie with 52 other authors. And so I'm trying to get myself in work mode and be like, let's write the newsletter. Let's get the social media post ready. I've barely posted on social media in forever. Anyway, all that to say, I'm so thankful that my mom's still able to watch my son because I really needed this day. It could be my last work day. Who even knows? Or I could have weeks to go. I really hate the unknowns, but I'm trying to go with the flow, be more chill, kind of expand my personality beyond the typical type A needs to know the plan, because I can't. There's no plan right now. There just isn't. And I debated sharing this video with you because honestly, it feels kind of embarrassing to be like, here I am failing again. I remember it happening at the end of my pregnancy with my son as well, where I'm like, do I even bother sharing this? But it's reality. And I think people have to see stuff that isn't the highlight reel. Like we need to know that we're not alone, that there are times like this where we just don't get it done, but we get something done. And if all that I get done is reading through this, good, fine, because then I know that at least 3 of those chapters were amazing out of the like 10 or 11. And I know that I have notes to get started on editing whenever I do come back. And I know that today, even if I only spend like an hour on outlining, it's progress. And like I said, I didn't know if I wanted to share this, but then I thought back to some really thoughtful comments where people were like, I just really appreciate seeing that sometimes it doesn't work out. And I'm here to tell you, it's so much more often than you know. I tend to be the person who shares the, you know, the celebrations at the end when I've gotten through it, but there's so many hard spots on the way. There's so many downs. There's so many moments where I'm like, do I even write books with 2 kids anymore? After this, am I ever going to write again? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. But like I said in the last video, I'm on maternity leave and I'm just kind of winging it and trying to find the joy in creating again. And this is just going to be a season of me learning to be okay with a lower output. I have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's all mindset, because to somebody else, like even to past me, like when I first got started in college technically, and I was writing and I had no idea what I was doing, I would have been impressed by what I'm able to get done now, even though it's lower than what I could do even just last year. I don't know. Does that make sense? I think we just need to give ourselves more grace, and I'm preaching to myself right now. So anyway, that's going to be this vlog because I just don't want to promise any more output. Who even knows? I might not touch the book for months after today, but here's where it's at on the Kickstarter pre-launch page right now, and that's where I'm at personally. I'll talk to you guys again soon.